Number 3, we have 1 over x minus y minus 1 over y minus x. So we've done a couple of these types of problems where the terms were not in descending order, where we have one term that was a variable, the other term was a number. Now here we have variables. Well, when we have variables and we want the terms to be in descending order, we write it in alphabetical order. So we're going to rewrite this second fraction as negative x plus y. And for this question is a little bit different because we really don't need to use a Venn diagram, because I'm going to show you a way that we can go ahead and make these denominators the same by factoring out a negative 1. Remember, we never want to have a negative first term. So let's rewrite the question over again. We have 1 over x minus y minus 1 over negative x plus y. So that negative x plus y, I want us to, that denominator, factor out the negative GCF, which is negative 1, and then what's going to happen, the negative x becomes positive, the positive y becomes negative, so we don't need that denominator anymore. And then remember, I told you that we can, it doesn't matter where we place the negative. It can be in the denominator, the numerator beside it. Well, what we're going to do is take this negative 1 and multiply it to the minus sign that's already there. So then that is going to give us a plus sign. So now we have 1 over x minus y plus 1 over x minus y. We have a common denominator now. That is x minus y. Bring together the numerators, 1 plus 1, and then our solution is 2 all over x minus y. So the Venn diagram really wasn't needed, but you could have used the Venn diagram where uh, the first circle would have been x minus y, the second circle would have been y minus x. You would have put those together as the LCD. But if you remember to write your terms in descending order, take out that negative. We can move this negative 1 but to the middle of the fraction, so we are able to multiply this negative to the negative that's already there, and that becomes a positive. So our solution, 2 over x minus y. Number 4, we have x minus 9 all over x plus 3 minus x plus 9 all over x minus 3. So our first fraction has a denominator of x plus 3. Our second fraction has a denominator of x minus 3. So the question is, what is the same? Well, we don't have anything that's the same, so that will be different, x plus 3 and then x minus 3. We have no factors that are common. So our LCD is x plus 3 times x minus 3. So our goal is to get those denominators to be the same. So let's look at the first fraction, x minus 9 over x plus 3. Well, what must we multiply the first fraction by so it becomes the LCD? Look at your denominator. Cover up the x plus 3 in the Venn diagram and it tells you what you're going to multiply the second fraction by, which is x minus 3. Then our denominator, our second fraction, x plus 9 over x minus 3, what are we going to multiply the second fraction by? Well, let's cover up the x minus 3. What's left over in the Venn diagram? The x plus 3. So now we have a common denominator, an LCD. And our LCD, we said, was x plus 3 times x minus 3. Let's bring together our numerators. Look at the first fraction. Yes, you see that. We have x minus 9 times x minus 3. I'm going to place a bracket beside that. Minus, then we're saying x plus 9 times x plus 3. So you have two parentheses here, two binomials. And what we're going to do for each of those, we're going to FOIL. All right, so let's get out some scratch paper and let's multiply the first binomial. Okay, so the first binomial, we have x minus 9 times x minus 3. Let's FOIL. First term is x squared. Outside term, we have negative 3x. Inside term, we have negative 9x. And last term, we have positive 27. Add the negative 3x and negative 9x. And we have x squared minus 12x plus 27. So that's the first parenthesis. Okay, so we're going to do this in parts. And right now, for the denominator, I'm going to write LCD because what I need you to do is focus on the numerator. So just the first half of this binomial, this is the solution to that. X squared minus 12x plus 27. Let's write that down. I'm going to place parentheses around that because we have more than one term. And then the key here, we have this big subtraction sign there as well. Minus. Now let's look at the second half, the second binomial, where you have x plus 9 times x plus 3. We're going to FOIL. First term, x squared. Outside term, 3x. Inside term, 9x. And last term, we have 27. And we're going to add the middle terms together. And we have x squared plus 12x plus 27. So that will be the solution to this binomial. X squared plus 12x plus 27. So our focus is on the numerator. That's why I'm writing LCD for a second. So to say, yes, we're going to bring the LCD back in, but not just right now. Because we are subtracting the two trinomials, this minus sign, we're going to distribute that to the second parenthesis. So here we go. First parenthesis stays the same, x squared minus 12x plus 27. Then we have minus x squared minus 12x minus 27. Look at your numerator. Combine like terms. What's going to happen to our x squareds? X squared minus x squared. That cancels out. We have negative 12x minus 12x. That gives us negative 24x. And then we have plus 27 minus 27, and those will cancel out. So our numerator is negative 24x. All right, so let's write our answer. Our numerator is negative 24x. Our LCD we said was x plus 3 times x minus 3. And there's nothing that we can do. We can't factor the numerator, so we're finished with this example.